Back. So it may be September, but Halloween really isn't that far away. And one Seattle baker is really getting into the spooky spirit by competing in the Food Network's latest season of Halloween Wars. Baker Jamie Louks from Sugarnova Cakes is here in the kitchen with me this morning with some, I'm not kidding, incredible creations that we're going to be talking about. But I mean, wow, is that cake?
Yes.
That's a cake.
Absolutely.
It's a bee, and you can see its brains. I am really, it's a zombie bee.
It's a zombie.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what
it's a terrible pun.
No. It's just what New Day needs, a zombie. So tell us what you make at Sugarnova Cakes, things like this, right?
Yes, absolutely. At my business, Sugarnova Cakes, I create sculpted cakes. I do sugar art out of chocolate. These insects are made out of sugar and chocolate. And I also make wedding cakes, birthday cakes, sculpted cakes, pretty much anything under the sun. You throw an idea at me and I can just run with it and make it for you.
So cool. And it is such a big part of any celebration, the cake. So I think that's what makes it so fun. I mean, I don't know what kind of celebration you're going to have an impaled heart at, but I want to come to that celebration indeed. So what are we making today?
So today we are going to be making a red raspberry blood curd, because if you want to drip blood on your desserts, on your cakes, then make it red raspberry. It's the perfect intense blood color.
Oh, okay, I'm ready for it. So how do you make blood?
Well,
edible blood.
What we're going to be doing is this red raspberry curd. There's two ways that you can thicken a curd.
Okay.
It's either egg yolks or cornstarch.
Okay.
The egg yolks would mess up the blood color, so we're going to thicken our curd with cornstarch today.
Okay.
So we're going to start, if you would like to combine these.
Yes.
We have a half a cup of granulated sugar.
Gotcha.
And a tablespoon of cornstarch, which is going to make a kind of loose curd because we want something that's going to be able to drip. If you wanted a stiffer curd to spread onto things, then I would say double your cornstarch.
Okay, so if it's something you want to stick almost like a frosting, more cornstarch.
Yeah,
okay, do you want to use a fork for this? Or
here, I have a whisk.
Okay, I can whisk it.
Blend it together. It's going to break up your cornstarch.
Oh, I like this whisk.
And it's going to make it so that there's no little clumps in anything.
Okay.
So now we have 1 cup of, that's a nice cloud.
I know, it's a spooky theme.
I have 1 cup of woo, that is a hot pan.
Sorry, I meant to warn you about our stove here. It's always ready to surprise you.
Makes it exciting.
It's scary. Woo.
So I have 1 cup of a strained red raspberry puree. Okay. And now we're going to add in our sugar and cornstarch, and we're going to whisk it together.
Okay. Whisk the whole thing.
Whisk it all together.
Okay. Thank you.
Whisk, get all those bits.
I'm getting the bits.
Yep. And now we're going to actually use our spatula to cook it until it starts bubbling.
Okay.
And make sure to scrape the bottom as we go so that
you don't want any clots.
You don't want any blood clots.
I'm just
Absolutely not.
That's not good.
What you want to do, this is being thickened with cornstarch. So the trick to thickening with cornstarch is you need to bring it up to a bubble because you need those starch molecules to get so hot that they actually explode. And it's the explosion of the starch molecules that cause the thickening.
I had no idea.
Well, there you have it.
That is cool. Science and cooking today with Jamie.
Right. So now we just got to wait for this to start bubbling up, and you want it to bubble for about 2 minutes.
Okay.
We can turn up the heat to about medium high.
So as we're waiting for that to bubble, let's talk about Halloween Wars.
Absolutely.
How did you get on that?
Oh man, I had been trying for years to get onto any kind of cooking competitions whatsoever. It's one of those things that you look around, you find maybe a flyer from a casting company that says, hey, we're casting this show. And you got to apply for it. And in these applications, they ask a lot of information about you, your background. How excited are you about Halloween? What kind of skills do you have in the kitchen? And do you love blood and guts? Do you love scary things?
I would be an immediate no. But actually, I would be disqualified at the can you bake. So, So you get on, and now when I watch these competitions, I'm always stressed out for you.
Yes.
I'm just like, oh, come on, 12 hours is not enough time. I mean,
Yeah.
do you thrive in that environment?
I absolutely do. Not everybody thrives in that environment, but there is something about that intense pressure that I love. I live off of it. And
really?
the pressure to be creative, the pressure to create something that's like insane. We've got 7 hours on Halloween Wars to create these gigantic showpieces.
I can't even.
By gigantic, I mean like they're 4 and 5 feet tall sometimes. So
Wow.
I'm up on a step stool decorating things, and I mean, it's incredible.
And you were doing this for 7 hours straight.
7 hours straight.
Wow.
You can take a lunch break. Does anybody actually do that?
I was going to say, I'm sure they don't.
Not really. You've got some
Wow.
coffee under your station that you're definitely drinking the whole time.
Oh my goodness. So what was the biggest surprise to you out of being a part of that experience? You know, obviously you weren't scared of the scary show.
Absolutely not.
So what was the biggest surprise?
Well, they would try and scare you on set regularly.
What?
By making
Like a boo from
Yes.
behind your counter?
Yeah, or they would like have lightning and thunder happening just out of nowhere, or they've got TV monitors all over the stage that are old and creepy, and they make those TV monitors actually like make these crazy loud noises to make you like jump.
Oh, so they want you to mess
second.
up while you're doing your thing.
Well, I mean, they don't want
They don't want
to.
you to, but they're trying to get a good TV.
That
All
is right.
So as that starts to thicken up, you have through the magic of TV, we have one
do.
already made.
Yes. So the last thing that you would do when this thickens up is you want to add 1 stick of butter. So
A whole stick of butter.
A whole stick of butter, because that's what's going to make a curd nice and like creamy, and it's just so good.
Well,
So-
that's melting. I will. Yes. So it's there.
Yep, so this is the magic of television. We have a red raspberry blood curd already made. I put it into a piping bag because this is going to make it much easier to drip down the cake and to decorate things with. I just have a pair of scissors here to cut a little opening.
I like that. So it's like 1/4 inch. Because if you ever wonder how much to cut, that's now how much you cut. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way here.
It's a nice small amount.
Leave this on here, so I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
Let's turn that off.
All right.
There we go. Now, I have a super tier cake here. It just means that it's extra tall, and a chocolate knife stabbing into the top of it.
Obviously.
And I have blood spatter on my board, but I need blood dripping down this cake, so I'm going to just squeeze until it drips.
Oh, that's nice and disturbing.
It is, and you can get big, long drips.
Oh, wow.
And just...
I might, if I tried to do that, I might actually look like I murdered the cake.
Maybe.
Because it would just be a disaster. So I'm not even going to touch that.
And the consistency of this curd gives it like some nice like depth and like some real gooey blood quality.
I love this. And you would also drip it on this heart that's on a pipe. Which I actually kind of think, I don't know if it's too morbid, but I mean, it might be a good happy divorce cake. I don't
it might be. On something like this, on this spiked heart, I'm gonna do some blood up around here.
Oh, this looks so cool. Jamie, thank you so much. And remember, you can watch Jamie on Food Network's Halloween Wars Sunday nights at 9 p.m. Oh, we're got to eat.